Hey, what is going on guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 10 pick or ban champions for patch 8.5. So these are going to be the picks in this patch that are the most influential right now. So if you're not looking to play them, then you should probably be looking to ban them in this patch. And just a reminder, I am running an RP giveaway right now with a few other YouTubers, so if you would like to enter into that giveaway, there will be a link down in the description below. So to start it off, the first champion on this list for this patch is going to be Swain. So in both the top lane and in the mid lane, Swain is performing super well in 8.5. He got a lot of different buffs in this patch and they're really helping him out a lot. He's a really good pick in the top lane against a lot of these meta like melee bruiser champions. We're seeing way more Darius now after his buffs, and Swain is doing great against Darius. He got that buff in this patch, Swain did, to his Q, to where it's on such a short cooldown now, so against melee top laners, Swain can do a really good job at just bullying them and harassing them out of lane, and he's actually doing very well in the mid lane too. He is also a champion that benefited a lot from the AP item rework. The new Leandries and Rylai synergize very well with Swain, so all of those things combined are making him a very good pick in 8.5. Another top laner here that shouldn't be too much of a surprise that he's on this list is Sion. So Sion has been seeing just a ton more play over the past few patches. He just really doesn't have any exploitable weaknesses right now in his kit, which is just making him a super good top lane pick. He just does everything a lot better than most of the other top laners. He's tanky, he can still do a ton of damage, he can roam, he also scales well into the late game, so he's pretty much got everything you want in a tank top lane champion, so I would definitely be picking or banning Sion in this patch. And then the final top laner in this video for this patch is Darius. So Darius has made quite a resurgence as well over the past few patches. He got those buffs, and a lot of the meta matchups as well right now are just super good for him. He pretty much doesn't lose to any melee matchup. The only matchups you have to watch out for as Darius are like Teemo and Swain, but if you can get ahead with this champion in the early game in those melee matchups, then it's just so hard to shut down Darius. His 1v2 potential is some of the best for any top laner, and he just has the ability to take over the game if he can get a lead going in the early game. So if we move into the jungle now, the first jungler in this video is going to be Warwick. So I'm definitely surprised Warwick has not received any nerfs over the past few patches. It seems like Riot are targeting a lot of other junglers, and tons of other junglers have been nerfed besides Warwick, so it kind of just leaves him at the top, and he is one of the strongest, if not the strongest junglers for 8.5. This champion is super good for solo queue because his ability to skirmish in the early game is almost unmatched by any other jungler. And because you do get into a ton of 2v2 and 3v3 scenarios in the early game, Warwick's ability to win those are very high, or he's got a very high chance of winning those early skirmishes. He also can just get around the map super fast and be almost in two places at once because of his W's, so I just think he's overall super easy, very effective, and a great pick in this patch. And then for these next two junglers here, I'm going to talk about them at the same time because the reasons to why they're on here are very similar, and these junglers are Evelynn and Kha'Zix. So I just think that Evelynn and Kha'Zix are way too good for solo queue if you know how to pressure well in the early game, because if you can get a lead with these champions and you can get to your level 6, the stealth that these champions have in their kits just allows them to snowball the game out of control. If you can get a lead and just start roaming into the enemy's jungle, get wards down, and just keep picking the enemy jungler off over and over again, it's just so easy to do because of the stealth from these champions, and they're just very hard picks to play against in solo queue due to the fact that their stealth is just very hard to deal with in solo queue, and it's very annoying to coordinate against. So for mid lane in this patch, there's only going to be one mid laner in this video for 8.5 because I feel like mid lane right now is pretty balanced. There's a lot of really strong mid lane picks, but the only one that I really think is pick or ban worthy right now is Fizz. So Fizz's matchups in 8.5 are just really good because we're seeing a ton of immobile mages being played right now. We're seeing a lot of Victor right now, a lot of Xerath, we're seeing a lot of Twisted Fate, Veigar, Orianna. Fizz's matchups are just really good good in this patch, and because of that, it just makes him a pretty safe blind pick right now. You run the teleport on Fizz anyway, so even if you're in a little bit of a harder matchup, you can really use that teleport to your advantage, and once you do hit level 6, your ability to all in and just get a really good snowball going against these immobile mages is very good in 8.5. He is just a lot more reliable now too, because with stopwatch being activatable at 10 minutes, it just allows Fizz to snowball the early game much easier, and very few people are running stopwatch now, so once you hit level 6 as Fizz, you can actually look to do something, and you can actually look to get a really good snowball going now in this patch. So for AD carry in this patch, it's kind of similar to mid lane in the sense that there's a lot of different things that you can pick in the AD carry role and have some good success with. The one AD that is standing out above the others though right now is Twitch. So because of Twitch's synergy with a lot of the most played support, and because he does pretty well into a lot of the most played AD carries as well, he is standing above most of the other AD carries for 8.5. We're seeing a ton of Janna and Lulu in this patch. They are two of the most played supports, and if you can reach the mid to late game as Twitch with a Lulu or Janna by your side, then it's almost impossible for you to actually lose a late game team fight, and Twitch can just absolutely solo carry if you can get to a 3 item point on him. And because of the Jhin buffs in this patch, we are seeing a lot more of him. Tristana also did get nerfed, and Twitch has always been a pretty good pick into Jhin, so because of these indirect changes as well in 8.5, it is making Twitch stronger. And then lastly here, to round out this video, the 2 supports included on this list for this patch are going to be Janna and Lulu. So Janna and Lulu right now, there's a few different reasons to why they're super good. Because of the Sightstone changes a few patches back, it allows these picks now extra gold in the early game. So what they can do is they can just grab an early Frostfang, they can sit on that, and then they can go into an early Ardent Sensor as well as Redemption, and they can just hit a really good mid-game spike for their AD carry and for themselves as well. The Aftershock nerfs in this patch also indirectly buff them, because against those melee supports, they're even stronger in 8.5. They just have a much larger window now to trade against those supports in the laning phase, because Aftershock is going to be on a much longer cooldown for this patch. And then because we're really not seeing a ton of super good early game AD carries in this meta, Draven and Misfortune and Lucian all have very low pick rates for this patch. We're seeing way more of like Xayah, Tristana, Twitch, Jinx, a lot of these really good scaling AD carries. And if you pair Janna or Lulu up with those scaling AD carries, then it just provides you with a very strong mid to late game. So that is going to be all for this video, guys. Hopefully this does give you some pretty good guidance as to what you should be looking to pick or ban in 8.5. In my opinion, these are the champions that do have the potential to have the biggest influence on rank games for this patch. So with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you have yet to already, enter the RP giveaway down in the description below if you would like to. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.